Hello crafty friends, welcome to today's clean and simple card making video. Today we're going to do some more heat embossing and we're actually going to create a birthday card for my husband's 50th. I've got my little sketchbook here and I'm going to do this sketch and it's going to be video 2025/112, so if you want to note that down you can. So we've got a card panel, 3 vertical lines about 1/3 of the way in, and then 3 rectangles and a sentiment. So I'm going to start by creating my 3 rectangles, and I've got Uncharted Mariner, Peacock Feathers and Broken China. Actually, I'm going to swap that one out, I think, for Salvage Patina. I don't know actually. Yeah, I think those will work. So to start with, I'm going to blend this onto some white card. So I've got a nice little ombre there, nice little blend of colours from a lighter colour to a darker colour. Now I'll dry this with my hairdryer because I want to heat emboss on top of this and I don't want stray embossing powder sticking where I don't want it. The best way to check if it's ready for heat embossing is just to pour some embossing powder over it. If it sticks, then it needs to dry a bit more. If it comes off, then it's ready. There's a bit that's sticking and it's not coming off with a bit of flicking, so I'm going to dry it a bit more. I'll go over it with my anti-static sock of talcum powder, and that should mop up any excess moisture or grease. And I'll test it with the powder. And that's come off perfectly, so that's ready now. The powder I'm using today is Wow Metallic Copper, super fine. I think the copper colour will go nicely with these bluey greens. And what I want to do with this is emboss a stencil pattern on it. So I've got this kind of, it's like a metalwork type pattern. And I'm going to put that on there like that. I'll hold it in place with some washi tape because I don't want it shifting around. So for my die cutting sandwich for my Cuttlebug, I've got the thick plate, a clear cutting plate, some cardboard shims, a rubber mat, the card and stencil, and I'm going to use this cutting plate. And that has, you can see it on the back, that has pushed the pattern up into the card, so these bits are raised now. And I'll take my embossing blending brush, so this has got embossing ink on it, and we'll shake over the powder, and that's caught all of that really well. Got a little paintbrush here that I'm just going to use to move any bits of embossing powder that I don't want. And I'm going to heat that with my heat tool on the highest setting. So now we've got a lovely extra raised heat emboss pattern because it's dry embossed as well as heat embossed. I'm not going to die cut this, I'm going to cut it with my trimmer. So I've got a nice few bits there and I can choose the nicest bits from each one. I like that one, it's fully dark. That one's got a bit of a blend on it, that's quite nice. And then that one from the bottom. So they're going to go on the card the other way up, I think, that way. So the pattern is continuous. Yeah, like that. I'll put those in my box of backgrounds and bits. For my card itself, I'm going to use this linen textured 4x6 inch card blank, and I've got this smaller panel of the same card to go on top. I popped a little bit of tape there, and I'm going to put this where it's going to finish up. I'm going to place my rule of thirds grid on it, and now I'm just going to put a little mark here because that's going to be 1/3 of the way in on the whole card. And I've got an embossing pen here. I want to do a freehand line from the top to the bottom, or the bottom to the top, but I'm going to keep my ruler here just so I can use it as a visual guide. I'm not going to touch the pen to the ruler. That's the plan anyway. So It's going to be fairly wonky, but that's absolutely fine. So I've got 1, and then 2, and then 3. Now I'll add some more of that copper. Just dust off any extra bits and heat that with my heat tool. So that's come out really well, and now it's time to stick that properly to my card front. And these are obviously too big in comparison to the sketch, and I think I'll cut them so they finish here. I think that works. They're a bit chunkier than those, but that's absolutely fine. So I want to put my sentiment here on this intersection of these 2 third lines. I put some 1mm deep foam tape on the back of my pieces here, just to give them a bit of lift. To get the sentiment in the right place, I need to have these in the right place, and that's in the middle, just above that top third line. And I will use my T-square ruler to get that lined up nice and straight. This next one is a bit of a gap, and then this one will have the same size gap. And for my sentiment, I've used one of my freebie printables, which you can download from the video description, and I've cut it out with a stitched rectangle die. I've added some glue to the back there, and I'm going to place that right about there, I think. So it's centered over this gap and over that third line. Got a little combo of foam and card that I'm going to put under here to act as scaffolding at this end. Might actually bring that in a tad. I don't often decorate the inside of cards, but I thought I would today. So I'm going to take the rest of this and pop it on some double-sided sticky. Just want to make a bit more of a blend here. Might just use the top 2 pieces and cut out this 50. Hold those in place with some washi. Now on the inside, I'm going to stick my numbers, and I'm going to make them a little bit wonky, like that. And I'm also going to heat emboss the word today underneath that. I've got some alphabet letters here, and I've popped them on there in a higgledy-piggledy fashion, and I'm going to stamp it under there. And I think I'll do it in a Distress Oxide. There we go. Not perfect, but it's got a bit of a grungy vibe which goes with the rest, I think. And now I can just handwrite a message. Right, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and it's given you at least a couple of ideas that you can use in your own card making. If it has, please do let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I'll see you back here very soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.